welcome back to the Car Sharker. My name is Jimmy Prater, and I'm a closer. That's what I do. I train and I teach other people to close car deals and be outstanding car closers. Now, I want to talk to you about what really sells a vehicle. 90% of the sale is attitude, appearance, and listening. You got to have all three. Attitude, appearance, and listening. If you don't have those three skills, you can't sell anything. If you don't have those three skills, nobody's buying anything. If you don't have those three skills, you can't close. Bottom line. Now, there's something else that's probably more important than all those three. And you have to look at each and every sale that you've ever done in your past. Or if you're just starting out, remember this. If a customer isn't laughing, and if the customer isn't smiling, the customer isn't buying. If they're not laughing or smiling, they're not buying. If they're not laughing and smiling, they're not buying. If they're not laughing and smiling, they're not buying. I say it 3 times so you can remember it. That's just the way it is. So you got your attitude, your appearance, and your listening skills, and you get the customer to laugh and smile, they're buying. See, it's that simple. Now, we know that logic, mathematics, and presentation sells cars as well, because the mathematics comes from the desk. The presentation comes from the salesperson. And the logic comes from the closer. However, the salesperson is a closer too, but they just close the product. The closer closes the figures. And the mathematics comes from the desk. And everybody works together. And everybody has their own rules of engagement. But if the customer didn't buy, and you go back to the sale, if you have a rewind button, and you could visually see the sale on a monitor, you would see the customer didn't buy because the customer wasn't smiling and laughing. The customer didn't buy because the customer didn't smile and laugh. The customer only buys if the customer's smiling and laughing. The customer has got to laugh. The customer has got to smile. How do you create a smile? By having a good attitude. That's it. That's 90% of the sale. You have a great attitude, you got a nice appearance, and you listen to the customer's needs and wants, you're selling that car. See, that's why it's so important to have a closer on your floor, dealers. You got to have a closer on your floor that keep the floor motivation level at its highest. Everybody's got to be motivated. And it doesn't matter if you're selling a car, or if you're selling a house, or if you're selling insurance. You don't call somebody up to pitch them a product and be monotone. You're excited. You're smiling when you're on the phone, right? Come on, this basic 101. But we're forgetting about this stuff. We're all in our iPads and our smartphones. We think everything's got to be automated. That's not true. Traditional sales process works. We're the Car Sharker, teaches and trains it. We train closers. If you want any of that other stuff, you want to get sugar-coated, go somewhere else or continue to do what you're doing. Be complacent, because we know what complacency does. Complacency kills business. Complacency kills sales. Listen, when I was in Iraq, we had signs everywhere. It says complacency kills. That's where it just always stuck to me. Think about it. If you're a police officer, you pull somebody over, you're not complacent. You don't put your hand on their car to ask for their license, registration, and proof of insurance. You got your hand on your weapon. You're ready to roll. Don't be complacent. Start training the proper way. And do it all the time. Muscle memory. Muscle memory. Muscle memory. See, I say it 3 times, you remember. If they didn't buy because of why? Right, they weren't laughing and they were smiling. And they bought because of why? Because they were laughing and smiling. You guys, I love people. People buy from people. If you don't love people, don't Don't sell anything. Go get another job. But this is what closers do. They love people. They love chest. They do and say the same thing over and over and over and over till that deal shuts down, because they have a sales process, a closing process, a desking process. They know them all. A closer should know all three of them. Now, a salesperson is a product specialist and closer. You have a huge responsibility. Man, you have a huge responsibility. You know how hard it is? Listen, if you've never sold a car and you're and you're watching this video for the first time, think how hard this is. You got to meet somebody for the first time, meet and greet. And you sales trainers that are teaching these dealers out there that the meet and greet has gone away, shame on you. Shame on you. Get out of the business. But a salesperson has got to do that meet and greet. Convince somebody to spend tens of thousands of dollars. Take a stranger that you don't even know if they're a good driver on a test drive. All in just a few hours. That's hard to do. Think about how hard that is. We take it for granted. Managers, you take it for granted. Get off the desk and you go for one day on a Saturday and see if you can sell a couple cars. You can. Because you're used to having your face smothered in a monitor. Come on now. Start training. Train. Close like a car sharker. The shark attack is coming for you. We're going to save you. And we want you to make a ton of money. Gross that next customer like there's no tomorrow. I love it when a salesperson sends me their voucher. I love it. You made how much on that vehicle? Hats off. Tell me how you did it. And that's how you should be as a desk manager or a floor manager. You want to know how they did it because you want to keep learning yourself. You can learn from salespeople. Now, we train salespeople on processes. But we need to streamline them too. Streamline them and teach the salespeople the power of a process, the rules of engagement of the process. I love closing car deals. We are the car sharker. You know what? I want you to do yourself a huge favor after watching this video. Go close something.